Listen, there's nothing against Chicago, nothing against the city of New York, but man, we love being home. And so does Reese Olson as he gets ready to make another start against the Chicago White Sox. It's the start of a 6-game homestand for Detroit, first of 3 against Chicago, and it comes your way here on Bally Sports and is always presented by Figer Law. With my buddy Simo, I'm Shep. Thanks for joining us on this weekend. Happy Friday night to you. Detroit has had a recent power surge. Already more homers this year than all of last season. Spencer Torkelson is right in the middle of it. What surprised you most about his recent power surge?
The plate discipline. Everything over the middle of the plate, he is absolutely crushing. I can't wait to see what he does today. It's kind of like one of those at-bats where every time he's at the plate, you just got to get up out of your seat because you want to see what he's going to do. I'm
smiling because his dad said, what did I tell you about that opposite field porch in New York? More stories about Spencer Torkelson's dad and how involved he is in this home run barrage. The Tigers' big reason they swept the White Sox last weekend, not just the power, but their aggressiveness on the base pass. How important is that for this one?
I think it's going to be huge.
If the Tigers win this one tonight, they win the season series from Luis Robert in Chicago. This White Sox team, folks, has a lot of talent on it. Nobody's more talented than their center fielder. Robert, already a career high in homers and a franchise record for a center fielder. The Tigers will try and keep him in check, led by Reese Olson, when we come back on a Friday night in the D on Bally Sports. Next. Hi, everybody. It's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. He's Simo. I'm Shep. This ballpark was built in 1912. It's very unique. And probably the most unique thing about it is the 37-foot high wall in left field. It's called the Green Monster, and that has to be a bear to try and play as a fielder.
It absolutely is, Shep. The crazy thing about playing this wall is you can't be flat-footed.
Just as unique is in right center field, where it protrudes out from the bullpen, but then you watch it kind of curtail back here into the corner at 420 feet, and that's called the triangle here at Fenway Park.
This might be the toughest ball, especially for a right-handed or right fielder.
Just as famous as the Green Monster here at Fenway Park is the Pesky Pole. It's named after Johnny Pesky, who had just 17 career home runs as a Boston Red Sox in over 1,200 career games. We do know this. At 302 feet from home plate, it's pretty inviting.
Oh, it's definitely inviting. For the left-handed hitter, the visiting left-handed hitter that comes to this ballpark, a uniqueness about it that is unmatched.
Here's the other unique thing. Anybody who sits in this area comes over and signs it. It's a pretty cool situation and a cool ballpark where the Tigers hope to win today. Game 2 of the 3-game series is coming up next on Bally Sports. The arms of this Tigers team have been a big part of its turnaround. Michael Lorenzen will be called upon today to take the ball first, but he expects to have plenty of reinforcements. The Tigers go for a series sweep today against the Brewers, and as always, it's proudly presented by Figer Law. Hi everyone, welcome back to Milwaukee for the series wrap-up. With Simo, I'm Shep. A big reason for Detroit's success recently has been their arms, for sure, but especially the guys who make this walk out of the bullpen to the mound. They've been impressive.
They really have been impressive, and what made them so impressive, Shep, is their ability to stay on the attack, winning the race to 2 strikes. Hopefully today they can continue that stretch of putting the hitter on the defense.
A.J. Hinch doesn't like rolls, but the 2 guys at the back end, Jason Foley and Alex Lang, have been lights out.
Well, Shep, as a hitter in the batter's box for A.J. Hinch.
Michael Lorenzen is hoping they don't have to get to the bullpen, but he appreciates what they've done for the starters so far this season. The Tigers, winners by 2 runs in Game 1, a 1-run victor last night, look for another win and their first 3-game series sweep of the season on Bally Sports next. Hey everybody, alongside Peaches, I'm Shep. We'll hear from Trevor Thompson in a little bit. The Tigers starting to feel better a little bit about their offense because Javier Baez is starting to catch fire. Since the middle of April, he's among the best in all the American League, and plenty of incentive today here, Dan, against one of his old teams.
Absolutely. Great to see him on both sides of the ball playing the way he is.
This Mets lineup is a challenge, there's no doubt about it, but especially because of the power provided by the guy in the middle of this order, Pete Alonso.
Don't let him do damage. You got a good chance of winning.
Pretty good numbers against American League teams in his career as well. Tigers 4-1 against the National League so far this season, and today a reunion in our city. 2 of the greatest pitchers in Tigers history are back where they really grew up. Max Scherzer starts Game 2 of the doubleheader. Justin Verlander makes his Mets debut when he starts tomorrow after starring here in Detroit for 13 seasons. Tigers baseball is next on Bally Sports. Hi, everyone. With Peaches, I'm Shep. We'll hear from Trevor Thompson a little bit later on. We come to you from a very special place. This is the Cardinals Baseball Museum right across the street from Busch Stadium. We stand in front of Bob Gibson's jersey from 1967. Gibson, one of the most intimidating pitchers of all time. But in 1968, lost Game 7 to Mickey Loach and the Tigers. I can't get enough of this place.
No, this is wonderful, and one that you've always dreamed about getting. It's a beautiful thing seeing these two uniforms.
They have done it right here. 3 times the Tigers and Cardinals have clashed in the World Series, 1934, 1968 when the Tigers won, and of course 2006 that we don't want to remember. We do want to remember what it was like last night, though. A 1-run win. Detroit is now 7-4 in 1-run victories. It's got to mean a lot for a young team.
I think it does in time you're in the very same situation.
So you bring up those catchers, and those catchers we talk a lot about with the caught stealing statistics, but what they did last night for Tigers pitchers was really important.
It is, and it's one of those stats that it's not going to show up in a box score here.
Yeah, it's Wainwright's first start of the season. Among the players he has to deal with, Javier Baez. Baez 2 days ago, a 2-run homer in the first inning. He did it again last night in a 3-hit performance. How much more does he have in store? The Tigers look for another win in St. Louis on Valley Sports next.
Are you gonna,
Okay,
think
all
you get a
right.
handful?
Okay.
I'm going to have a couple too then.
Where's the chocolate chip?
Here we go.
Here we
All
go.
right.
Toasted
Ready?
grasshoppers.
Ready?
Little
Toasted
chili
grasshoppers.
Caesar,
I got one.
boys.
All right, here we go.
Here we
Let's have
go.
a great second half.
That is awful. And that's why I didn't want to do it in the first place.
Not good.
Not
For
good at
me.
all. Why do you want me to eat dirt?
It's gonna-
I thought we were friends.
What do you think, John? What is this?
That is so bad. That is you said it was $5.50?
I actually feel bad now.
That's $5.49 too much. Welcome back. AJ Hinch joins us for the dugout. How are your emotions?
Awesome right now. I mean, his vibe is unbelievable. The fans have showed up. Miggy's soaking it all up. How about him looking around the crowd before his first at bat? I mean, we're loving life down here.
What's your relationship meant to you with him?
With Miggy, it's been incredible because he, coming into this organization, like, he's the Tigers. I mean, he's the guy that has given so much of his adult life to the Tigers, the fans. He's seen the good times, he's seen the bad, and he welcomed me with open arms, big bear hug, and has really helped break a lot of these young guys into the big leagues.
Hey, man, thanks for helping us all year long.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. Tigers up 2-0, bottom of the second. AJ Hinch kind enough to join us from the dugout. Early lead for your team. Multiple runs in the first inning in 4 straight games. How significant is that?
Well, it's huge. I mean, especially here on the road against these guys, it's nice to get out of the gate quick. Ivanya's great swing. Obviously, Javi with the big swing. We had really good at bats, which has been the key the last few games.
Talk about Javier Baez's toughness with the jam finger and getting drilled twice in the wrist there, and yet he hits another home run.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this at home, taking 94, 95 off the hand multiple times, but Javi's not going to miss a game against a lefty.
Great stuff. Thanks, AJ.
Thanks,
Good luck the
AJ.
rest of the
Keep it
way.
up.
Take care.
Appreciate it. Time now for Chevrolet's strongest player. It is Michael Lorenzen, a season-high 7 strikeouts last night in a win over Pittsburgh. He has been simply spectacular over his last 3 straight starts, and he joins us from the dugout after picking up his second win. Michael, thanks as always. Appreciate the time. What was working for you so well last night? How'd you feel?
Yeah, I felt all right. Just trying to fill up the zone, let the defense work, and trying to change some speeds and mix it up as much as I can. Throw fastballs when they think changeups are coming, and throw changeups when they think fastballs are coming.
Now, Michael, I wanted to ask you, when I looked you up, it said pitcher and outfielder. What's the story about that?
Yeah, so I was able to get in 2019 a handful of starts in center field when I was with Cincinnati. They would use me as a pinch hitter, pinch runner, and so I got some position player time up at the big league level. So I think that's why.
To Gibby's point, Michael Lorenzen was the first player since Babe Ruth to hit a home run, earn a win, and play center field in the same game. Lorenzen did it in 2019 against Philadelphia. Babe Ruth did it in 1921. Just for some clarification. I'm sure Michael already knew that. Now you're a new father. How has that changed your life?
Man, it's put everyone always says it puts everything into perspective, and it's so true. I'm kind of obsessive about my craft, and want to do everything I can to get better each and every day. And what it does is it allows me to take a step back and realize what's truly important So I'm giving all my time that I can to my wife and kid. And it's just been great being able to go home and see her smile. She's 6 months now, and she's smiling. She just said "Dad, Dad" the other day for the first time. We got it on camera, so it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, that's big. Now Miguel Cabrera stands in. Last night, Michael, he played his 2,000th career game as a Tiger.
Yeah.
What's it been like playing with him?
It's incredible. Honestly, he's been the most fun teammate I've ever played with. So he's, with his resume and what he's done, he's been the most fun I've ever played with, and he's incredible.
You think he legged that out?
Yeah, he legged that one out. He gave that everything that he had right
sure
there.
did. Well, I know you gave it everything you had last night, and you've done it for the Tigers so far this season and will continue. Thanks for the time, man. Congratulations on fatherhood and another fine performance last night.
Appreciate it, guys. God bless.
You bet it. It's time for Chevrolet's strongest player. It's Eduardo Rodriguez from last night. 6 2/3 sparkling innings, gives up just 1 run, struck out 7, earned his 10th win of the season. He has dominated. You look at those numbers, dominated the AL Central, and he joins us from the dugout. Hell of an effort last night. What is it about the AL Central that might get that blood boiling a little bit for you?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. It's just like I try to go out there every game and do the best as I can, so. I wish you say it's been like that for the whole league, not just the American League Central. Like I want to be like that to the whole league. So it's nothing special. It's just like those days I feel like I'm feeling really good, and there is some days that I don't feel that good, and you always pay for it. There we go. It's gonna be a double, maybe a triple, maybe. Let's see. Nope, double. I'll take it. That's good.
So we'll carry Carpenter to lead off the 3rd.
Yep. Perfect. So, yeah, for me, it's just I go out there every day and have a really good game, and no matter who I face, National League, American League, is just do the best as I can over there.
It's really too bad he's on the 10-day IL. You will miss him. This entire team will miss him defensively and offensively. Andre Lipsius just struck out, but he had a moment, and you've seen a lot in your major league career. He had a moment with the 2-run homer in the first for his first major league hit. How cool is that, even for a veteran, to see a young man do what he did earlier?
I mean, it's always cool to see young guys come to the big leagues and get their first base hit, the first homer. It's just special to see, and especially your first hit is a homer. I feel like, I mean, now I don't know how to hit on the big leagues. I wish I had one, but but I see a lot of guys getting a base hit, but getting a homer, I think is the best feeling as on your debut. Like as your first hit is a homer. I think it's just special.
Home half of the second, Tigers and Reds tied at 3. Sawyer Gibson-Long pitched the last time the Tigers played. It was Sunday. He got the win in his major league debut, and he joins us from the dugout. How was yesterday for you, a day off and a day after your first major league victory?
Man, it was nice, kind of. I took the whole day off. I went and took a walk around the city. Got to see everything. Played a little bit of Fortnite. Slept in. Coming up from the minor leagues, we had all the Mondays off, so it was kind of normal for me, but it was nice.
Yeah, I slept in. I got up at 4 too. I had a great off day.
Let's go.
But what did you know about Detroit before you came here? You been here before?
No, this is my first time. I actually have some friends from here that I grew up with. One of my little league coaches is from here, and he was blowing up my phone all day Saturday and Sunday after the game, congratulating me.
So if you weren't a baseball player, what were you going to be?
Well, I was pre-med in college, so I'd probably, hopefully, be in med school right now. I don't know if I would have got in or not, but I mean that was the plan going through college.
Well, you took the MCATs, right?
I did, yeah. So I got drafted in 19. And before that happened, I had signed up for the MCAT, and what you have to do is you have to pay for it. And I paid for it in like March or April just to take it. And I think the draft was in June, but you can't get a refund. So I paid for it, and it wasn't until September. I got drafted in June and pretty much just took off. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try baseball out first. And I was like, I guess I paid for it, so I'll take it. So I pretty much went in cold turkey and took it. Oh my gosh, what a grind. Like, I think I would have did okay maybe if I studied a little better, but it's more of like, it's such a long test. It's like 7.5 hours, and that's the worst part. Once you get to about hour 3, you are just not there anymore. Like, my body was there, but my mind was gone.
You knew you didn't want to do that after that?
No, I was like, gosh, what a grind.
Real quick, let me get you back to just before you threw your first pitch, and you met a young child dealing with cancer. You went down to their level.
Yes.
How important was that, and how much did it help you, if at all, settle in?
Yeah, so that little boy's name was Kalen, and he was so composed out there, and I was freaking out. And he was like, just getting down in his level honestly helped me more than maybe it helped him. I don't know. I feel like he just was calm and collected, and I was like, my stomach was turning. I could have thrown up, and like just talking to him for a second and, you know, externalizing my own thoughts and just seeing him eye to eye was amazing. And I mean, he's so much stronger than anybody here, and like just puts everything into perspective. And you know, I hope I left an impact on him, and I hope I made his day, because that was probably the most important thing for me yesterday.
In Indiana, a 5-tool player, and if he can be anything close to Curtis Granderson, Tigers fans will be very happy. And he has joined us here. Man, this guy is so busy. You thought he was busy during his 16-year major league career. He's just as busy outside of baseball now. It's great to have you, man. Thanks a lot for coming by. What does this weekend mean to you? Because I know you're so involved in the Players Alliance. How much does it mean to you?
It's awesome. One, I get a chance to finally be back in Detroit. I hadn't been here since 2019. You know, the world shut down with COVID in 2020. So when I was reached out to saying, hey, we got the Negro Leagues weekend, the Willie Horton Legacy Award. Are you able to do it? I said, yes, let's count me in. Let's do it. So my dad and I drove in on Friday. We got a chance to do some things in the community. I mean, it was really cool with that passing of the bat. And as we were passing the different bats to all the different individuals, I've met Jaron Purify over the phone. So I've been communicating with him and his mom, just talking about different things, about what the college space looks like. Then obviously we passed to the Negro League greats and Willie Horton. But at one point, there's the maroon bat. They said, hey, you got to sign this. I'm flipping through. I go, I've already signed it. You know, we were on the field one time for it and did that. So it's just so cool to see it come back full circle and be here for it. It's just really cool. And I finally get a chance to watch it from this side of it instead of always being out there having to play in it. So
when you walk into this ballpark and you think about, you know, when you got to the big leagues with us and putting on that old English D, what is your fondest memory? Because I take us back to 06 when it was electric. What was that? What was your feeling like when you walked back in today?
You walk in, I always remember how green it was from the seats and then the noise. And the one thing about Detroit, and you know this, that's why you're here doing it, you would travel all over and the Tiger fans would be there. And they let you know either by a couple ways. I'm a big fan of they would roll that sleeve up and show you that old English D tattoo. I've never seen so many old English D tattoos until we started meeting all these Tiger fans. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, they love this state. They love all the teams here. The only divide is Michigan, Michigan State. That's really it. Yeah. So when you're rocking and rolling here, and you remember Jim Leland told us, like, we're playing for something bigger than just us, and the city and the state got behind us, and it was always fun and electric to be playing here.
Well, I always joke with our broadcast team with Matt Shepard and then the guys in the truck, my producer, Brian Henry. And I always tell him, I said, Curtis was so greedy in the outfield. I mean, I knew he had priority over me in center field because he could go get them with the best of them. You guys see some of the plays he's made, and I'm sure they're like high in your head and some of the great offense that you've done. But defensively, can you tell me right now why were you so greedy taking all my balls?
I'm going to tell you, Steve, it wasn't me. It was Van Slyke.
Okay.
Van Slyke told me, said, hey, I want you to go out there like the Bad News Bears and take everything out there. I said, are you sure? Now, mind you, I'm a rookie. I'm trying to make the team and see if I can do it. He goes, nah, if you can catch it, go catch it. So that 1 year, I think I led all of baseball in putouts because the outfield's so big.
It is big.
You know, remember Maglio was coming off the knee injury.
Yes, yes.
You know, you were in left or going back and forth to right. So that was Van Slyke. That wasn't me.
Okay.
Blame.
I'm going to blame Van Slyke. But now look at this. You know, you see the dimensions change.
Yep.
I mean, how much fun would you have now going back and robbing home runs?
Oh, hey, the fact that you have a fence that's low enough to do it, you know. And I tell this story. When I signed my contract, I came on the field here in 2002, and they asked me, they said, do you think you can play center field here? Now, remember, the flagpole was in play. Right?
It was in play.
So I just signed this contract, so I'm supposed to play. I can't play on that outfield out there. So I got to tell him yes, but there's no way we could have done what we did. And if you remember the bullpen was over there in right
field.
So they've moved that in. They've moved this in. So, I mean, change is a good thing. I always like that. And we saw Akil yesterday go.
Yeah. He went up and got
full
one.
arm over the wall, which was awesome to see. So
it really was. Yeah, it's really cool. It's great to have Curtis Granderson here. Let's take a look at the T-Mobile coverage cam, and it focuses on number 28 in Detroit and some of the phenomenal plays that he has made. It's so difficult to just remember one. We get that. But when you look back and you see some of the things that you've done, do you even amaze yourself at what you have been able to do in your career defensively and offensively?
It is very interesting because I never thought I would play for nearly as long as I did. I just kept getting the opportunity. I had great mentors in Craig and Dimitri and Pudge and Maglio that just were showing me the ropes and how to go about doing it, from when to get to the ballpark, how to dress, how to conduct yourself. Like, there's no surprise that Craig's in this position the way it is, because that's how he was on the field as a teammate. And they all paved the way to give me an opportunity to go out there and showcase my ability. But I had to have somebody ahead of me to show me all those different things, and that's what they did.
At what point in your career did you then feel comfortable sharing your knowledge with some of the younger players?
You know, it was interesting. It happened right away. I remember there was a day, it was you, Dimitri, Marcus, myself, and we had just drafted Cameron Maben.
Yep.
So Cameron Maben comes on the field. He's a young high school player, dual sport athlete, and we come out there. So now we're all collectively together getting a chance to talk about what the Tigers can be and what the future can look like. And there's just multiple generations, someone who just finished high school. I had just came out of college. Players were establishing themselves, and of course we had Dimitri Young, who was a perennial all-star. So seeing that generation, I mean, it's amazing that we do the pass the bat. That's what was happening.
Yeah.
That's what we saw on the field, but it was happening with the organization. So it happened quicker than I thought it was going to. But once you're up in this spot, this is where everybody wants to be. So whether you have a day or you have a year, someone you can help and influence in any way you can. And I remember that was one of the big moments that we did it.
That's awesome.
And Curtis, I just enjoy watching you play this game because you played it the right way. You played it hard. But I noticed that you would always wear your socks up, high socks.
Yep.
Can you explain to the people, can you tell them where that stems from or where that came from?
I remember having, the third grade book report, and we'd have to pick somebody to do it on. So I was like, all right, Jackie Robinson and the Negro Leagues. And I said, you know what? I like how they pants look. Them pants look good. And, when you're playing Little League at that time, you're either getting just the one-size-fits-all pants or you're getting lined up by the number. So if you're the shortest one on the team, you get number 1. If you're the biggest one on the team, you get number 12.
Yes.
So all that stuff doesn't always fit. So I said, when I get a chance to pick uniforms that I can customize, I'm going Negro League style. I'm pulling them up. And every day since that point, when I got a chance to do it, I wore them up to play homage and thank you, tribute to all the Negro Leagues that paved the way for you and I to go out there to be able to do it.
I do have one quick story. I had friends who said they never had their child wear anybody's jersey with a different name on the back until Curtis Granderson came to Detroit. And they had their son wear a Curtis Granderson jersey. Your impact is immense, not just because of what you did on the field, but what you do off it. How do you get fulfillment off the field right now?
Well, I remember just my mom and dad and the way they just went about their business and their life. They were both teachers, and they always treated everybody with respect. And you got to think about it. They got such a wide range room of students. Sure. Some are older, some are younger, some are big, some are small, some have, some don't have. And I always watched how they were, and that was how it was here. The only difference between us and everybody else was our job title. That doesn't make us any better than anybody else. We just happen to be baseball players. But there's people that do amazing things out there. So being able to realize that I'm in this position because someone helped me, and now I can be in position to help others, is the reason why I started the Grandkids Foundation here in Detroit in 2007. And we actually have some grandkids in attendance today from Flint, Michigan. Some are coming tomorrow from Detroit. Hopefully the rain will hold off for them so they can enjoy this game. It looked like it's about to peak here in a little bit. But
very cool.
That gave me the opportunity to do it, and I was in a position where because of baseball, people would pay attention more, but the messaging was still the same.
It's interesting, folks. We use the phrase role model an awful lot, but we don't always define it. It's a pretty good definition of it right here, a role model. When we come back, his thoughts on Miguel Cabrera and more. The weather is not cooperating just yet, but it should lighten up, and we expect to get baseball in. You want a good picture? Freeze it right there. That's good looking right there.
That's it.
That's it.
We rocking those hats.
That's how he did it.
That is a Studley trio. We'll be right back.